Hi everyone, I'm Sara Fabbri, one of the lecturers of the English track in the course Introduction to Psychology.
Pieter de Vries, coordinator and one of the lecturers of the Dutch track. This week the topic will be learning. Although you had already heard about it in the English course, we will talk about it this week in the Dutch course. Learning in all of its many forms: classical conditioning, operant conditioning, cognitive learning, learning by observation. How are all these forms related? Are they complementary? And do they have things in common, perhaps on a biological level? Learn about that on the lecture and in the book.
And if you learn very good, then you're able to store all the information in the hard disk of our brain that is called memory. But nowadays that we use all these technologies, do we really need to memorize information, or we can just Google and see and find out all the definitions, all the answers to our questions? So look at this video to know more about this.
In 2009, a plane was flying from New Jersey to Buffalo, New York. As it cruised on autopilot at 16,000 feet, it encountered a massive storm front. Approaching the airport, the plane's controls began to shudder loudly, a sign the plane was losing lift and might stall. The pilot took action. He pulled back on the controls, lifting the plane's nose. This was precisely the wrong thing to do. Instead of preventing a stall, he caused one. The plane spun out of control and plummeted into a house, killing all on board. How had this pilot forgotten his basic emergency training? Is technology ruining our memory? We're all living in the age of Google. When we Google one thing and Wikipedia another, we're not relying on our brains but on our fingertips. Is it making us dumber? The hippocampus is a major part of the brain we use in declarative memory function. It gives us the ability to retain and recall memories about facts like the largest animal on Earth, and events like your first kiss or the first CD you bought. The formation of new declarative memories relies on both the hippocampus and a region around it, the parahippocampal gyrus. So what happens when we have information at our fingertips and we don't need to remember facts anymore? Well, the process in our brain of how we form, retain and recall memories remains the same. What changes is what we choose to form memories about. Instead of remembering more facts, we remember where to find them. This is called the Google effect. In one study, participants who were told they could later look up the answers online did not make the effort to remember general trivia. When asked a question, people actually thought about computers and search engines instead of searching their own memories for the answer. As for that lump of matter inside of our heads, that's connected too. For our declarative memory, using technology just means we're tweaking our memory hard drive so we remember where the files and folders are, where we can find information, not necessarily the facts themselves. This will probably happen more and more as our relationship with devices grows, but it's not necessarily a bad thing. fMRI scans show that for people who are internet savvy, areas of our brains are way more active searching for information online than when reading a book. In our brains, the hippocampus is still working the same way. We're just choosing to retain the most efficient way to find information, and that's usually online. We're all sharing the work of remembering, and it makes us collectively smarter. It's actually pretty adaptive. The only disadvantage is when you need knowledge on the fly. For split-second decisions, all you can search is that lump of matter inside your head.
So, this video has taught you that memory, although we think it has something to do with the past, is actually for the future, to predict events what come to us, and that we may survive the things that are dangerous or threatening to us. So, learn this to your advantage.
And also, they cannot use Google, right, during the exam. So you better come to the lecture and learn about all the techniques that you can use in order to store the information you learn in class into your hard disk. See you at the lecture.
Bye-bye.